Seeing them out there is making me hungry.
Oh, he's baiting. He's baiting. See the way he's spreading his wings and shit?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Trying to show who's the prettiest Tom, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I got the prettiest.
Just found this fragment of bone, and it is very ancient bone. It's not like something from the farm here. I don't know if it's been worked. I found bone beads here before. I'll check it over more carefully when I get home. And the ground here is littered with chert flakes, flint flakes from the production of tools. So I'm just sitting down here and looking at the small stuff. That's how I found that bone. Yeah. Just found this. The markings on it caught my attention.
Well, I didn't show you the bone, did I?
And they're not all
that'll bring me luck. You see the human bone and go, man.
claw marks. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
One thing I enjoy when I'm out and about looking for artifacts and relics are finding stones which are unusual, some enigmatic, some just plain perplexing. I have a mix of a few unusual ones that I want to show you that I and Gil have found in the last few days. Now, are you familiar with the Rosewell UFO crash back in, I think it was 1947? The crashed UFO looked like it came into from one of its edges down and plunged into the ground there and was half exposed and half buried. This rock reminds me of that. I call it my Roswell rock because it looks like a flying saucer, the dome here and the body of the saucer here. But what it actually is a concretion, a chert concretion or nodule. And the Indians in my area, well, maybe your area too, would gather these and they would break them open, and inside was the best chert and flint for the production of arrowheads, spear points, and such. So as I turn this one over, you can see that it has a darker material in here. That dark material inside is very, very hard, and in this case it's very, very dark. And so this is the material they would have broken out to make into arrowheads and such. But I thought it was a really unusual stone. Gil found that one. Now, here's one that came into my collection today from out on the farm field that Gil and I go to quite often. Now, on it are a lot of incised lines. Now, undeniably, some of them are probably plow marks, but they are not all plow marks. They're not random. Plus, this has a scalloped edge. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. And it's been abraded to form what could have been a chopping tool. This part here was taken down by arc pecking. You can see the scars from the arc pecking on here. But the entire surface is covered with these different markings. And on the back, the same as the case. So this, I haven't even taken the time yet to clean this one up, but that's an interesting and kind of an enigmatic piece as to what it was used for. It could, who can say? Most people can't transcribe Native American pictographs or stone writing, if you want to call it. But that being the case, it's really a cool piece. Now, I know that there's a few of you out there who watch my channel who will look at my artifacts and say, and have said, those are just stones. Well, it is true, they are stones. But don't always think yourself the expert. I don't think I'm an expert on any of this, although I'm not without significant knowledge about it. If you don't feel they're stones, they're stones. If you don't feel they're artifacts, and it irritates you, then don't watch. But if you're here to see these pieces and think about them and give suggestions to me, well, hey, I'd love to hear what you have to say. It's sometimes very difficult to tell from an image on a screen the qualities of a stone, whether it's a stone or an artifact. So let me move on to another one. Now this one is just an unusual stone, and it has all these little like crack lines in it, if you will. Now, I believe that this is fossilized mud. I've found fossilized mud many, many, many occasions. It's really quite common out there. But besides having these cracked marks, it also has a vein running through here of a different material. So when I clean this up, it'll be more interesting. But it is a fossil, and again, I believe it's fossilized mud, because you know how mud will crack out in the sun as it's drying out. That's what I believe that is. Now, here's another one that will drive you people who think that I'm just showing you stones. This one should drive you nuts. When this came out of the riverbank, I noticed first off that there's like a notch here, 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 and here, and those are not natural notches. Now, you can see on each of these how, again, with another stone, arc pecking has been employed to shape this stone. To me, I believe at this point that it's a turtle effigy. When I cleaned this off, and Gil was here earlier, I just handed it to him and to see what he thought, and he goes, "Wow, that looks like a turtle, Dennis." And I hadn't said anything. So I appreciate that somebody else saw the similarity the same as I did, and it's just a really cool piece. Definitely, that one is an artifact. I have no question in my mind on that piece. Now, I've also found, this one I found a while back, but I bring it out because of the turtle piece. This reminded me, at the time, I thought it was a tanged hammerstone, and I still do. It was brought down to a very sharp chopping edge here, as you can see. This is granite, but again, it has that almost turtlesque, if that's a word, appearance to it. It has the head that's shaped out here. The body's, there's a leg here, not so well defined on that side, but it's not dissimilar from the one I just showed you. So, very interesting pieces. Now today, as Gil and I were out on the field, I found this piece. Okay, now this piece I'm really uncertain of, because you can see turtle shapes, I think, in just about every mass of rocks that you find, if you're looking. This, again though, this side's broken, so the legs on this side would be missing, but here we have the head, here's a small leg, another small leg indentation there, and is it? I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. I believe it could be another effigy, but again, that's just what I believe. And then, this is another chopping stone. I'm sure somebody will argue this piece too, but you can see how it's been brought down to a bit there, to like a rounded bit, and would have been ideal for using for chopping or crushing, cracking open, say, walnuts or whatever. But these are pieces that a lot of people walk past because they just aren't beautiful like the arrowheads are, or the spear points and different pieces or pots. But they are just as significant to the big story as any of the beautiful artifacts are. So I love finding pieces like that. Now, this is a granite piece, broken. It's been abraded along here, along there, and I believe before it broke, it was an axe head. Stone axe heads are not uncommon in Michigan. I've never found it. Well, I guess I did. I found one complete one when I was working my old Vanette Creek site up in Oscoda many, many years ago. But I believe that is the broken part of a granite hatchet, or not hatchet, but axe, smoothed on the surface and abraded along the edges. Now I'm going to tell you a quick story about the axe I found up in Oscoda, because I think it's really cool. This has been many, many, many years ago, back in the late 1980s. And I was at my old Vanette Creek site working, and it was a dismal, dreary day towards fall, or well into fall, because it was pretty cold. And I went out, bundled up, to look for artifacts at the old Vanette Creek site. Now, where I was is the top of a 20-foot bluff. So I was walking along and just the flu hit me like that. And I got so sick to my stomach and I got so dizzy. And I was at the edge of that bluff and I lost my balance and I had a shovel in my hand and I started tumbling down that 20-foot bluff and throwing up the whole time, throwing up was never pleasant, but that was extremely unpleasant. So anyways, when I got to the bottom, I fell against a tree and my shovel stuck into the ground. This sounds like a made-up story, but it's not. I got myself together, used the handle of the shovel to help me stand up, and I took a shovel full of dirt out of there, and I swear, I no longer have it. It's with the museum up in Oscoda in El Sabo. I found a celt, which is an ungrooved axe that was like that long, beautiful, perfect, black, shiny stone, just absolutely incredibly awesome. Well, anyways, I just sort of what I wanted to show you. These few stones, I think they're fascinating. I'd like to hear your opinion on them. And if you think, hey, Dennis, they're just stones, fine, tell me why. I'm saying that all except a couple of these are actual artifacts. So I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at these with me. I've certainly enjoyed showing them to you, and hopefully I'll talk to you all again real soon, God willing. God bless you all. I love you much, and I will be back with you, God willing, very soon. See you later.